Looks like it's nighttime now out here. I've already had a sort of off feeling about this planet so far, but if I'm being honest, right now, that's kind of spiraled into straight up dread. This feeling is especially reflected in the music, which I haven't talked about in a while, but certainly feels worth mentioning now with how it feels like any sort of welcoming atmosphere that once existed is now gone. And this certainly doesn't help that. Seriously, I feel like I could be shot in the back of the head at any minute now, and if someone really is planning to do that, then make yourself known already. Whoa, talk about a change in scenery. I'm not exactly sure where I am, but if there's one thing I know for sure, I'm in a cave. Well, obviously. That aside, there's this guy here, and some topics I think I can discuss with him on the bottom. I assume this means that Angylus and Zero are gonna do the talking for me, so, uh, I'm just gonna hold off on commentary, like before. Well, that was certainly a bit to take in, but I think I can follow. Firstly, honestly, I kind of expected the Queen to be evil. I didn't want to believe it, mind you, and I don't know what her end goals are as of now, other than be powerful, which, considering her position, I think she already has down pat. But a lot of her dialogue from earlier in the world just rubbed me the wrong way, you know? Like, she was really trying way too hard to come off as friendly. I just hope X and Snowflake are okay. Secondly, however, we have a factory to revisit. Let's make haste before things start to get ugly. It's showtime. Ugh, even the front door's open. It's like they're expecting me to raid this place. Or, alternatively, one of the employees was just careless. Geez, sounding the alarms already? On second thought, maybe leaving the door open wasn't a faulty security measure, but a trap. Oh, of course, I'm going against these types of freaks. What did I expect anyone else? Thankfully, the behavior of these two guys are pretty simplistic compared to their in-game counterparts. All the stumpy ankle biter and the scream cap does is try to pounce on me, only to easily be deflected with a kick to the face. He at least chewed off a tiny bit of my health, so I'll give him that. As for the other, I have no idea because he got absolutely ripped apart by Zero. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention his moveset, but Zero can pretty much be summed up as just using his green sword in different ways. And he's pretty good at it. An interesting thing is whenever these enemies die, they seem to lose their color and go almost completely pale. I guess since these aren't the real monsters, they wouldn't decompose like they normally would. Later on in the stage, I'm starting to see less and less enemies. I'd consider this a good thing, but at the same time I can't help but worry about if they're wreaking havoc somewhere else. I don't necessarily think they'd make all these copycats just to keep them all cooped up in here, is what I'm saying. Hey, it's that robot from the first time I visited this stage. I thought I'd have to fight it, but it seems to be deactivated. I wonder what happened to it. Off we go, I guess. Moving through that door took me to this odd-looking room. Judging by the kaiju in the background, as well as the odd-looking Gigan to the right, I'm assuming this is some sort of room where faulty kaiju are thrown out, or as the Queen would word it, where mistakes are fixed. And it seems I've found the garbage disposal. It's mini-boss time. Again. The mini-boss itself moves quite fast in terms of how it attacks and how it generally moves. It's not too overwhelming, but it definitely scared me at first due to my assumption of it not really being the frantic type. As for its actual strategy, it cranes its head down and fires this little icy projectile at the ground. And if it hits you, then you get encased in ice, with the mini-boss attempting to combo you with that claw of theirs. Thankfully, Zero was able to cut off his annoying claw at one point, allowing us to gang up on him. Must feel humiliating having the trash take you out for a change. What the? Some monster here appears to have broken out of the ice. Are they another boss? Huh. I guess they're friendly, so I'll let them talk. All of this is very intriguing to me. If Gorgo's telling the truth, then this heavily raises my suspicions about what the Queen must be up to. I wonder if there's more to her return than just a simple reclamation of power, is what I'm saying. Gorgo proceeded to leave us by this door, which I assume is where the core is located. Time to head in. Yep, this seems to be it. Let's snag this bad boy. Feels great to finally have this thing in my hands. I'm curious, and admittedly a little worried about what freezes could possibly need this for, but I bet it can't be any worse than this factory's production of copycats. I have no words. Let's leave for real now. Well, I can't say this is what I wanted to come back to. If the last move will be enough to weaken the Queen's defenses, then I'm all for it, but the way he worded that last part really rubs me the wrong way. Plus, even if the Queen really is evil, I kind of feel wrong killing this planet's last semblance of a leader, considering how I already killed their king. It's like, no, I'm too far already. I should just press on and find whatever it is I'm supposed to find. I decided to move to the tundra piece since I hadn't explored there yet. Nothing of note seems to be happening, but I'm willing to bet that isn't a good sign. Oh, fuck. I have no idea what the hell this thing is, but I don't think it takes a genius to realize that I may be in extreme danger right now. As if my enthusiasm to fight was already pretty low, Mencho immediately grabbed Zero and not only made him slower, but decreased his attack power too. Mencho's moveset in itself is quite a challenge. The only way I can describe it is like weather, where it just happens. Like here, when he slammed down into a small explosion he created to generate an even larger explosion. Was there any indication it was gonna do this? No. A lot of its other attacks were similar too, and while I can at least give it credit for having so much combat diversity in a restricting body like that, I can't give it credit for having a fun boss fight because it just doesn't. I know it doesn't sound that bad, but I mean it when I say it makes for a very stressful, and to a degree, frustrating fight. After tussling for a bit, I decided to try using Anguilus's roar attack on one of its missiles to see what could happen. I found out that you could actually crouch while using Anguilus's roar by doing this, but I can't imagine this being something I'll be relying on a lot more because you can't move while doing it. To my surprise, it actually reflected Mencho's missile back at itself. Though the music seems to have stopped, so I'm starting to wonder if I should have just tried fighting him normally. So, good news, Mencho's health bar appears to be draining by itself and the music appears to have returned. Bad news is, the song's a hell of a lot more frantic and now a flurry of attacks are showing up all over the screen with little to no breathing room. Of all the things I wanted that reflected missile to do, activate Mencho's pinch phase was definitely nowhere near the top. Amusingly, Zero's being stun-locked by a lot of the attacks on screen. I guess being slowed down will do that to you. I'm gonna hold off on taking screenshots of the fight for now because I need to pay attention on dodging the attacks rather than providing commentary. Huh? Why has Mencho appeared on the left side of the screen? Oh shit, that's why! Good God, I hated that last bit. I feel like I'm gonna have to invest in heart medication if I want to beat this game. Holy shit, it's still alive? How can this thing even form a single coherent thought after an excursion like that? kind of feel like I should have had a say in this, but okay. Well, that should just about do it for the stuff Freezius asks me to do. I do wonder how effective this will be for the attack on Queen, but I suppose I won't know until I actually go through with it. On an unrelated note, I think this cutscene seems to imply that my player characters don't quite know I exist. I probably won't make my presence known yet, as I'm not sure how they'd be able to comprehend a meat capsule controlling nearly all of their moves. Hell, I can hardly comprehend it as is. Oh. Oh, God. He's not actually dead, is he? Dear visitors, if you're reading this, chances are that I'm already dead. However, while this is the end for me, it isn't for you. If you've gotten this far in taking down that deranged despot's forces, then maybe you have a chance at stopping her egocentric scheme after all. I've hidden something inside my box there that I hope will be of great use in your mission. May Lady Luck be with you. I'm at a loss for words. I only met this guy a dozen minutes or so ago, and now he's already dead? I was already weirded out by how he acted and spoke, but this definitely takes the cake for the most mixed I've ever felt about a character. He wasn't outwardly hostile, but he wasn't overtly friendly either. In retrospect, I probably should have tried asking more questions, because I'm honestly not even sure what caused him to have a vendetta against the Queen in the first place. No use reminiscing now, though. He's put my faith in me to overthrow her, so I may as well accept his gift and fulfill his hopes. Fists of Thor, huh? I guess this is what he must have been making in there. I'll most likely elaborate on this new block mechanic once I get into another boss fight, as that would probably be the best time to talk about it. For now, though, it's time to finally confront the inevitable. I've been dreading revisiting the castle for so long, but I won't be able to find the truth if I just sit here shaking in my boots. Let's do this. Upon selecting the castle icon, I found both my player characters near the castle entrance. Were I a gambling man, I'd say this will be like the factory stage, where I actually had to walk through the front door before starting the level. Damn. Maybe I should reconsider buying that lottery ticket. Jokes aside, it looks like getting inside is going to be harder than I thought. I guess security here must have been a lot less lax since the king died. Maybe I should try to enter from another level type? Oh hey, it's one of those fellas from the previous world. I wonder why they're here. Well, isn't that helpful if not a little convenient? I'm gonna need to find a way to repay these fellows for their help, but maybe I should figure that out after I defeat the queen. Look out below! Judging by the abundance of water and minimal lighting, I'm gonna assume we've dropped down into some kind of sewer. Not exactly my ideal way of entering the castle, but if this really is the only way besides the front door, then I suppose I'll have to stomach it. Oh god, do these pieces belong to who I think they do? If that's the case, what an utterly unflattering place to bury your king. I don't want to say Queen was probably responsible for this, but I'm also not sure if I want to think about someone other than her who'd be willing to do something like this. Alright, hang on, pause. Currently, this level is both dark and quiet, and pretty much no enemies have spawned at this point in time. I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that there's gonna be some random creature that's gonna try to blindside me from the right of the screen. Yep, I called it. Me and my big mouth. I should have known there wouldn't be just one. The one that hit me went off screen afterwards, so I'm naturally gonna give chase to them. I outright refuse to let these nerds pull a trick like that and get away with it. Ran into this little guy after trekking through the water for some time, so I may as well say hi and politely ask if they've seen two things floating around here. Damn. I know I'm most definitely not welcome here, but was I wrong to expect some semblance of manners? Another mini-boss fight. I honestly think the frequent hostility of this world rivals even our Bitream in terms of things that are just itching to fight. Before I get too into this Frosty Fellow's attacks, I'll get into the block mechanic. Originally, holding down and pressing A would do nothing, even as Godzilla, where you had to hold down and press B in order to use your tail whip. But with these gauntlets, doing so will cause Anguilus to block oncoming attacks. Any attack that hits you in the direction you're blocking won't entirely nullify the damage dealt to you, as I've found it depends on what kind of attack is thrown at you, but it still greatly decreases the damage that would normally be dealt. There's also this meter at the top corner that decreases whenever you block something and recharges while you're not blocking, and once it fully recharges, it disappears. I assume that when it runs out, that means I'll be unable to block for a bit, but I don't feel like testing that, especially right now. As for the mini-boss's moves, they're already proving to be a real pain in the fanny. They're not quite as incomprehensible as Mencho, but they definitely make up for it by attacking quickly and hitting hard using that weapon of his there. So I kinda messed up here. I took the screenshot so I could talk about this new attack 0 pulled out, which slowed the boss down. But one, I forgot to pause the game, so I took some extra damage I could have avoided very easily. And two, the slowdown only lasted for 2 seconds. And if that doesn't convey how frantically annoying this boss is, I don't know what does. Another way he likes to attack is by using his little arm cannon there to shoot out various projectiles. They're a bitch to block as they can still knock you back, unlike other attacks, and take a significant portion out of your block meter. Holy shit! I started spamming the select button as my block meter ran out, and I sent out this new variation of Anguilus' roar attack instead of his normal version. I don't know if this is because of the fists I have equipped, but if so, then goddamn, I wonder what else they can do. With all that said, the rest of the fight was pretty simple. It was still very frantic, don't get me wrong, but after a while, I actually had quite a bit of fun. And the fists definitely added a simple, yet effective, layer of depth to the Monster of Monsters formula. Is it weird that I sometimes forget that this is a playable video game? Admittedly, I spent an embarrassing amount of time stalling just so I could recreate that new version of the roaring attack, but I was eventually able to pull it off after a lot of stumbling. I'm probably not going to rely on this thing too much unless I absolutely need to. Doing so also killed the mini-boss, leaving only his axe and a couple of other parts behind. I'm going to press onward and hope I don't run into yet another thing that wants to kill me. And, after a bit, I came across this door. I don't know for sure if it leads to where I think it leads, so I'll go through it before I give my thought. Looks like it does. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid of what's going to be up ahead, but I can't turn back now. It's now or never. Time to finally find out what the hell is going on around here. Hopefully. So far, the level appears to follow a similar song and dance to how it did in my playthrough of Galatius. Though, there appear to be some new faces here and there. For instance, there's that new enemy on the left of the screen I don't think was in the original. He sort of functions as a wall, moving to the middle of the screen and preventing you from moving forward until you kill him. And his spear can do touch damage if it grazes you. He's not too bad to deal with, but having your pace broken just like that is certainly annoying. There's also this new swordsman enemy who moves back and forth and slashes his sword downwards every now and then. He has a very short telegraph before he attacks, so you really have to anticipate when he's going to strike. Oh, yeah, and the enemies from the original castle stage are here too, but they're pretty much the same, so I won't comment much on them. Looks like we found our first set of stairs. Going up. Not a great first impression of the second floor. This guardsman is stun-locking me with this laser coming from his spear, and that damn crawler is taking the opportunity to get some cheap hits set on me. Ugh. I have a feeling I'm really not going to like these guardsmen. What? Huh? Hey, get back here. Who are you and why did you just save me? Maybe I'll ask this guy who that was. He looks like he's similarly not made of ice. I guess that peculiar dinosaur must be with this guy. Wait a minute though, rebellion? I know Gorgo said something about having his buds storming this castle later on, but I had no idea it was this serious. I suppose that makes sense. If my friends were killed in some sketchy factory with them being referred to as mistakes, I'd probably be equally as pissed. I wonder if this means that the factory and its recycling room were out of business when the king was in power. I'm starting to feel worse and worse about killing him. Time for the next floor. I can see another one of those odd kaiju in the background, fighting with one of those enemies from the factory stage. I guess they're just a part of the level now. Hey, it's that crawler from earlier. It's not moving or attacking at all, and I'm not going to question how it was able to get up those stairs. Someone's appeared behind him now. I'm not sure if I should be worried or not, but I think I'm just going to let them say what they need to say. Jesus! Maybe I shouldn't have waited. Paired with its new appearance, the crawler's taken on this new attacking style where he spits out these icy balls that roll across the floor. Because this game is allergic to the concept of iframes, they're very nerve-wracking to dodge, even if jumping over them isn't that hard. He only had a little more health than one of those guardsmen, but damn if I'm not shaken by that encounter regardless. Damn it. I thought for sure I'd get him that time. I really should have attacked him earlier when I had the chance. Touché, dickhead. Seems like I've got an unconventional boss fight on my hands. Now, whenever Mefurius passes a normal enemy, they'll transform into a mutated version of that enemy. In case you're wondering, the mutated swordsman isn't too different from its regular form. As far as I'm concerned, these indigo kaiju aren't too affected by him, but I have noticed that they do move slightly faster whenever he passes certain ones. Sometimes members of Gorgo's rebellion assist me in certain fights though, which is nice. Mefurius isn't too fast, thankfully. Because he mostly relies on his goons to stall you, catching up to him is pretty easy when nothing's in your way. I mean what I said. It's really easy when nothing's in your way. As for how this enchanted Galatian acts, they sway from side to side in the air and occasionally shoot one of their needles in a specific direction. It's kind of hard to hit if I'm not using my roar attack, but Zero, once again, manages to come in clutch by having way better jumping height than me. Another enchanted Galatian is shown in the screen cap, but I'm gonna gloss over them for now. All they do is just jump and swipe at you, nothing special. I'm more focused on the amount of these odd corpses littered throughout the place. They twitch and pulsate, but never attack or do any damage. I guess some of these poor bastards just can't be mutated. Oh god, please don't tell me I lost Mefurius after one floor. God damn it. One hit was all it took to— Holy hell! Well, on the bright side, I guess I found him. Further into this hallway, Mefurius kept on flying in from left and right on that cannonball, normally followed by some debris. It's not too difficult to dodge once you get the timing down, but it's still nerve-wracking, especially with how much damage he can do to you if you're unfortunate enough to get hit by it. Oh come on, I don't need another bomb. Never mind. At least he was kind enough to leave behind a health capsule. With that aside, I think it's high time I came up with something significant to deal with Mefurius. I have an inkling that he's gonna pull some kind of insta-kill hat trick if I don't get him now. Hope this works. Huh, seems like it did. That was a lot easier than I thought it'd be, but I'll take it nonetheless. Also, if you're wondering why I was so vague with what I was about to do back there, it's because I don't trust this game enough to not read my entries. If it can hear me talking, it can probably hear me typing too. Now that I say it out loud, I sound stupidly paranoid, but better paranoid than apologetic. And here's the door to the roof, exactly where I remember it. Let's get out of here. Ugh, what the hell's going on? Damn it, Mefurius again. I should have known he wouldn't have gone down that easily. Craft? What even is your goal here, man?
grow? Bullshit! All you do is mutilate them! You want to bet on it? What a slippery son of a bitch. At least he's gone for now, but I hope I get to put him 6 feet under when we meet again. Now that Gorgo's here, though, I feel like I need to admit something to him. It's been weighing down on me more and more as I progress throughout this world, and I think it's high time I let it out. So I spoke to the game to get his attention. And I told him what I had done here. I told him that I was the one who killed the king. I had no idea of the repercussions of what doing such a thing would have brought, and yet I still took his defensiveness as a threat, and I killed him. I won't deny, that was all very hard to get off my chest. Especially to someone like this guy who's been one of my allies throughout all of this world. But I got it out nonetheless. I definitely feel as if a weight has been lifted off my chest, so that's something. I shouldn't spend any more time moping here though, as I still have to defeat the Queen. It's the least I can do for this planet after what sin I had previously committed. Let's end this. For real this time. Well, here we go. I'm not exactly sure where this battle is gonna lead us, but no matter what happens, I won't hold back. I should also probably promise myself to not get hit by predictable attacks like these. I have a feeling if I didn't have the ability to block, I would have gotten a face full of this cane attack. Ah, piss. I was worried something like this would happen. At least Snowflake still wants to fight alongside me, but it still bites that we're 2 fighters short now. At least we don't have to deal with that horde in the back. It's difficult to convey through screenshots, but Queen is a very mobile opponent. Her main method of getting around is hopping from place to place, usually followed by an attack of some kind, which are equally quick and snappy as her movements, like here where she threw her hand at Snowflake. She also has this attack where she shoots her own snowflakes using her cane. I hid behind Snowflake so I could safely recharge my power bar, but I think I'll probably have to refrain from doing that from here on. as the look on Snowflake's face makes me feel like they'll use me as a meat shield if I try this one too many times. God, I think this world has really soured my opinion towards shockwave attacks. I didn't even know I had an opinion on shockwave attacks. This one's especially egregious due to how it's telegraphed, as Queen pretty much just does it whenever she damn well pleases. Kinda like Mencho in that regard, which is funny considering their shockwave attack actually had a lengthy telegraph. One thing I've noticed in this fight was that Queen's power bar is draining abnormally fast. Not just that, but like Laughajan, it's not recharging. Something big is probably coming up, so I'm just gonna brace myself. She's gone completely immobile. I suppose I should have expected this to happen given how it was her power bar draining, but I guarantee that if you were in my position, you wouldn't trust anything about this game whatsoever. Seems like they're interrogating her. I'm gonna sit back and listen, and maybe I can actually get some useful information on what the hell's going on. What the fuck? Guys, please, I can explain. No. No. Stop this bullshit! I didn't want all of this to happen! I refuse. Yes, I feel like shit for killing Simon. I wish I had just realized before then that this isn't just some video game where I can do what I want, and I'm willing to atone for the rest of my days. However, I refuse to atone for this by siding with someone like you who wears their malicious intentions on their sleeves. Well, here goes nothing. Again. I'm starting to feel an odd chill course through my bones, but I won't let that deter me. Side note, I've noticed that the color of Snowflake's power bar has changed, so I'm gonna try to see what that's for. Oh, looks like it creates an ice wall. I suppose it makes sense considering that Snowflake's regular Snowflake attack would be like trying to put out a fire with gasoline in a situation like this. I am semi-wondering if I can interact with the frozen bodies with this new ice power, though. You can also kick it, and it moves quite fast too, so that's neat. Gah, I guess Queen doesn't enjoy me playing with myself. I may as well fight her, but I am definitely put off by how much damage that one attack did. Expect less screenshots, I need to focus. Things are already not going well. Not only is she a lot more quick than how she was in the previous phase, but now she's pulling out attacks I haven't seen before, like here, where she's throwing her torso at me. As if things couldn't get any better than that, I haven't been able to land a single hit on her. Alright, let's see how this attack fares. God fucking damn it. What's even the point of having this new attack if she can just do that? I'm already at half health and she hasn't even taken 1 bar of damage. Even though I'm willing to brave this fight, I can't help but feel unnerved and slightly intimidated that Queen's able to actively overpower me like this. Maybe this is digging my own grave, but I'm just gonna try to make a break for it and rethink my strategy. It's very possible that this is a battle I may not be able to win unless I come up with something deeper than just punching Queen until she dies. Ah, Jesus. She instantly caught me. It's almost like my screenshots can instantly alert her to my location. Come to think of it, I'd love to find out if that's true, but I'm at too low health to risk doing something like that. Before you ask, yes, I did try to aim my ice attack at her eye. It didn't work. Moving on. I found out that the ice wall could even be spiked if you held down the select button for all of your power bar. Not like it mattered, since Queen instantly deflected it with this barrier of hers. Is this attack useful for anything? Alright. After some experimenting, I found out that I could interact with X's frozen body to make this happen. I'm gonna summon Queen here and... No. No. I feel... cold. Well, when you go to hell, don't wait for me. That was way too close. You're probably wondering what happened, so let me fill you in. I deduced that you were able to track my movements through my screenshots, so I went under the assumption that if I put an ice wall off screen without taking a screenshot of it, I could mislead you into thinking I had a different, weaker plan in mind. Honestly, even though the blizzard attack was exactly what I needed in order for this plan to succeed, I really thought you were going to successfully kill me before the ice wall hit you. However, since that wasn't the case, it's time I finally dethroned you. So your crown is what gives you power? Well, I don't know what I can say to that, other than... farewell, Your Majesty. Shut the fuck up, please. I, as well as others, have been trying to get this through to you during your entire fight, but you are a fucking abhorrent ruler. You threw those defective kaiju to the wayside just because they didn't exactly reach your standards. You almost sacrificed X, who showed no signs of hostility towards you before you fought him, and you mutated your own people into murder machines, all for the benefit of your planet. I've heard that your late husband wasn't the perfect ruler, but I don't exactly remember seeing or even hearing him do anything close to that when he was in power. Good point, but do you think they, I don't know, asked for that? Do you think that every single solitary one of them were willing to be mutated into seemingly mindless killing machines? I even saw some that didn't seem to have successfully reached their full potential and just flopped around as abominations, and your High Warlock didn't seem to care at all to help them. Do you think they wanted that to happen to them? I know I hardly have a place to speak on this due to what I've done and how I've never been in a position of power similar to either of yours, but I don't think it takes a genius to see how colossally shitty of a ruler you are. Well, the feeling is mutual, bitch. Who could possibly be here now?